Hello there everybody, my name is Max and welcome back to War Thunder. Today we're taking out the hero of the Battle of Britain, the Spitfire MkIa, and what a beautiful plane she is, what a beautiful plane. Now I don't usually fly the Spitfire and it's not without good reason. She sits at BR 3.0, which you would think, it's not too bad. It's bad. It's really bad. This Spitfire was, obviously, in the Battle of Britain. Her natural enemy is the E3 or the E4 or the E7 BF-109, and she'll routinely come up against the F4, which is a BF-109 that took part in the invasion of the Soviet Union. She's not really a match for the F4 in most aspects. The only thing that she's got on the F4 is turn time, and that is it. But unfortunately, when you play War Thunder, especially when you play nations like England and Japan, the way they balance this, you will almost always find out that when you're playing a turn fighter, you get bumped up. Because most people will see a Spitfire and go, oh, duh, I'm going to outturn it, and then they get sent back to the hangar. And then, Gaijin, please nerf. So, although Spitfires at one point used to be by far the most powerful, planes that you could fly in War Thunder, nowadays the glory days are certainly indeed over. However, we're not just going to let that slide past us. On this battle we actually have a down tier. We're versing 2.0s and that sort of stuff. You may have noticed that I've been not wepping this entire time. I've been trying to keep my engine very, very cool. Unfortunately, when you're flying a Spitfire, this cooling of the Mark 1 and the Mark 2 leaves much to be desired. And the Mark 5, if it's not the Trop. So I highly recommend flying the Mark 5 Tropical rather than the Spitfire Mark 2B. I think this E is... oh no, he is playing. Interesting. And then we spin for the other E. I'm going to duck down under him and then kick the tail out. This is an E1, so honestly, for the first time I think ever in the Spitfire, not only are we fighting someone we're supposed to be fighting, but I think he's a little bit outclassed. And not just in skill this time, I think also in aircraft. He has gone into a turn fight with me, that was stupid. And there's an inevitable conclusion to this. And finally, for once, War Thunder has managed to actually fix the belts. So I'm now actually loading stealth belts. It's only been about 6 months that I've been loading default belts when I should be loading stealth belts. It's been really bloody annoying, but finally they've pulled themselves somewhat together. I'm only going to say somewhat because I don't want to give them that much credit. I have noticed that we've had a couple crashes since the new update came out, because quite frankly the Gaijin developers are too busy sniffing cocaine. Okay, now we could be about to suffer. BF-109 from altitude is fine, whatever, I don't care. It's the I-16 is what I'm concerned about. I'm assuming that BF-109 is zipping towards the Hurricanes, judging by the fact he ain't coming for me. No, he is coming for me. See that yellow nose? That's an indication of an E3 model. Gotta watch out for those 20mm cannons, because they will hit like a ton of bricks if you don't dodge them. So, do a nice little handy dandy dodge, spin back around, see what this guy's gonna do. Looks like he's off on his own little adventure. Is he going back to the airfield? I'm not sure what this guy's doing. But what he seems to be doing is killing himself, because I'm just going to roll around. Make sure you do a positive G roll. Gonna make that Merlin engine roar as loud as she can. And because he did that one hard turn, I'm not sure why, he no longer has the energy to outrun me. And it's gonna be a fight, whether he likes it or not. And he bins it. That was pretty easy when it comes to a dub. I think that I-16 is dead. Oh, and with that, we win a nice, easy battle, and all 3 of my planes shot down in this one have been BF-109s. Easy dub, easy dub. If you do find yourself facing Spitfire in a BF-109, I highly recommend you don't go for the turn fight. Avoid the turn fight at all costs. If you do anything but turn fight, you've got a good chance of winning. But if you do decide to go into a turn fight, you will almost certainly die. Now, that guy came from above. Oh, he looks like he's... Okay, I guess what I'm really trying to say is I'm trying to defend him slightly, but not too much. He's pretty new at the game. He hasn't really played enough realistic battles for this to be funny. It's literally seal clubbing at this point. And although I do enjoy seal clubbing at some points, I don't want people to rage quit or not have fun. But at the same time, if you are going to talk crap in the chat, make sure that you can back that up with your skill. Otherwise, it's a little bit embarrassing for you, but oh well, what do I know? Anyway, let's get our head back in the game. Let's lock in a little bit. I think that Sakine there is going to be in a little bit of trouble. Sakine is essentially just a BF-109, so let's not think about it too deeply. Now, the P1Y1, I'm not sure what its defensive gunners are. I'm assuming it's got some by the fact that it's shooting back at the Sakine. I'm going to dive down on it, maximum wep, and we'll give it the beans. And by the beans, I do mean 8 7.7mm Browning, so we're not exactly going to disintegrate it here, but... Now, pilot snipe, engine hit. Oh, Sakine took a beating, I guess. Okay, no problem. Spitfire's going to jump back in. Easy dub. Anyway, so GG's, well played. Half of our team is bombers, or a mosquito. I'm reversing the Germans and the Italians, so this is going to be an embarrassing fight for my Spitfire, I'm afraid, but there really is not much we can do. There's a B-25 down low. I don't fancy our chances, but I know bomber players suffer in this game because they are just dinner bells for everyone. So we'll do what we can. Again, it's still important to maintain altitude and climb above the bomber. Because now, if I need to dive on someone to intercept them, I'll be able to intercept them long before they get anywhere close to my bomber. Or, if someone's coming down from altitude to try and kill my bomber, I'll be able to intercept and defend at a much higher altitude, which gives me a chance to reverse and win. Remember, when you're when you're dealing with people who are trying to kill a bomber, it's not enough to just do damage to them. They have to die before they get to your bomber, because people will just empty the entire clip on the bomber, even if they're dead, even if they know that they're dead, or even if by emptying the clip they give you a perfect opportunity to kill them. People see the kill, they see the easy kill, and they go, alright, we got to intercept this BF-109 or he's gonna do nasty things to my bomber friends. Spray early into the head-on. It's BF-109F. We're in an up tier. We'll be okay, though. Don't worry about it. We take one glancing blow. She's okay. We're hit, but we're okay. Getting back some return fire hits. Checking that mini-map. Making sure it's clear. We managed to consign an F to the rubbish patch. What a brave and stupid idiot. Okay, well, now I was wondering if I was actually going to have to do anything, but now I do have to do something. The time has come for the Spitfire to get involved and save my F6F. A BF-109F again. Can't leave him. Check. Clear. literally save this man from his certain death, and he balls it up on, on the landing. In an actual battle, where you're both actually fighting as hard as you can, the Mark V Trop absolutely demolishes the 2B. Because it can climb much, much harder than the 2B, simply because of its larger radiators. You can just hold that wet button and forget about it. In this guy, it's not an option. Anyway, complaints over, let's get into the fight. One thing I will say, which I am glad about, is that they have finally fixed my stealth belts. It only took them about 6 months to fix stealth belts. So in that time, I was using default belts this entire time. It's really bloody annoying. Okay, this P400 is going to try and dogfight me, then he's dead to rights, and he deserves everything that he's about to get. I should be dead, because that other P400 should have killed me. I didn't see him at all. But okay. Okay, got one. I don't think the other P400 is going to make me his problem. Let's take a quick spray. Hard turn, vertical, and then straight back down so we can get him on his climb out. Oof. Oh, that hurt. That really bloody hurt. That is putting us in a bad spot. Having that wing so critically damaged, we're very bloody lucky it didn't fall off. But it does mean that the flight characteristics of this are negatively affected, I think is a fair description of how I'm struggling to keep this guy in the air now. Get severe, get destroyed. Yeah, this isn't even close to a fair fight. Because we got into a D tier, or D rank, yeah, like none of these P400s have any hope in hell. I should be dead. This P400 did very well, but simply because his plane is just not up to snuff. It's really, like, I don't know. Okay, easy words. I think the BR compression in warthunder is becoming a problem. Obviously, we're quite lucky to still be in this fight at all, so whatever. But the fact that P400s are fighting Spitfire Mk2s, I don't know, this doesn't seem fair. I think I can outperform this P400 in just about any metric, at least measurable metric, unless you count just pure, like, front-on firepower. Will he be able to turn around in time? He will. So duck under. I think the other guy will get him anyway. No, he goes head-on with the P400, a brave choice. Hiya folks, so you're back with me again, and I was editing the video, and I decided I needed to do one more battle, because I needed to have a little bit of a chat with you. So my conclusion was going to be, don't fly the Spitfire Mark 1, fly the Hurricane, grind until you get the Spitfire Mark 5, Trop, and then just fly that until you get the Spitfire Mark 9, and continue on your merry way. Essentially just skip this Spitfire entirely. But while I was editing the video, I thought, you know, maybe do a little bit of research. We're currently in a little bit of a D tier, or a D rank, so, you know, not super applicable right now. But the Yak 7 down there, wherever he is, and I'm not sure where he managed to scamper off to, but the Yak 7 that's on our team was released in 1942. You know, the Focke-Wulfs that we've been fighting, 1941. The BF-109F, if you're generous, you can say 1940, but if you really want to say when they were actually introduced and produced, 1941. So this plane that you see here, the Spitfire Mark 1, was produced in 1938. That's when her big production run was. And she's still sitting here in BR 3.0 in War Thunder, doing what she does best against planes that are up to like 4 years newer than her. And in World War II, 4 years is a big difference. And not only is she like still being able to keep pace with them, but she fights them on pretty even terms most of the time. Now, obviously, War Thunder is not a indicator of the modern day or how it was actually fought or anything like that. But in War Thunder, in order for the Russians to 1v1 me in a fair fight, they gotta bring a plane 4 years newer than me. Don't you think that's a little bit embarrassing? If the Germans want to 1v1 me in a fair fight, they gotta bring a plane 2 years newer than me. A plane that the Spitfire Mk5 fought. Again, don't you think that's a little bit embarrassing? If there's one thing the Spitfire Mk1, and the one reason why you should fly her, is she is the epitome of that British resilience. Of that, like, underdog, no holes barred, I'm entirely outmatched and I'm still gonna beat you. Just pure guts that the people demonstrated in World War II. And she still demonstrates vaguely in War Thunder today. Sure, she's not the fastest plane at this rank, and she's definitely slow. And at some points, to be honest, she's just flat out outmatched. Especially against the Fokker Wolves, they're just so much faster than you, there's almost nothing you can do to stop them. But they're like 3 years newer than you. Of course they're gonna run rings around you, and yet you can still go toe to toe with them and come out on top. Right? Like, I don't know if it's a testament to the plane or her pilots or whatever, but yeah. If you are grinding the British tech tree, before you head straight for your stupid Typhoon or whatever, before you jump straight into whatever the top tier is at that point in time, probably the F-35 or something by the time we get there, I recommend you stop and just play the Spitfire Mk1. Don't get me wrong, like, you ain't gonna get a butt ton of kills with it, and she ain't the best plane at 3.0, but you know what she is? She's plucky. She's way out of her depth, she's way older than everyone else, and she still goes toe to toe with them